All right. Well, we're live now
hmm
apparently. So,
Oh, hey.
yeah. Hey everyone. Welcome to a very impromptu live stream today of Strength Club, the weekly Q&A. Hopefully this is actually working. I can't actually see on Facebook at the moment, so let's see. Are we on? Are we on? Oh, we are. We're on Facebook. Sweet. Hey, Facebook. How's it going, Facebook?
I know I'm
so
going to try and find this Facebook stream now.
it's on the Strength Club page. If you Google, not Google, if you Facebook search, um, if you Facebook search Strength Club, you'll hopefully come across it.
Hopefully, maybe at some point.
Hopefully,
But
yeah.
okay, cool.
So we're
So what's going on, Mick?
yeah, living the dream, man, living the dream. We're gonna take a look at some form checks today, and also hopefully take a few questions from people out there on the internet. So if I can just pull up our little chat thing, we'll see if anyone's left any comments. Uh, where are we? Can you see any comments there?
Um, Negative.
Comments and
It's an
reactions?
interesting. It's an interesting time. What time is it in the real world right now?
Um,
Oh, it's 8 o'clock at night in the real world. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
it's 8 o'clock at night.
hmm
So apparently we can't, when we're using the stream key, we can't actually see the comments and reactions, which is a bit of a bummer, given that that
I know.
was,
I popped into YouTube.
yep, is there anything in there?
No, it's like it's on a little bit of a delay, but not yet. No.
Okay. Yeah, this is really tuning my computer system as well.
hmm
Um, well, anyway, let's rip into a couple of form checks while we're here. Um, we've got a couple from our old friend Mel Sitnick,
Longtime friend of the show,
big
Melanie
time
Sitnick.
friend, one of our biggest supporters. I'm curious as to what Ripito audio she's
You
got.
just want to ask him. She'll ask after we get through.
Yes.
I'll edit them back in. You're waiting for the microphone to be turned off. Oh, I got a question. That's what she said.
Oh, that's the end of the
All right.
last
Well,
Starting
that's
Strength
it.
podcast. That was
Yeah.
funny. I
Thanks for
enjoyed that.
watching us today.
This is the most we've had
Yeah.
Rusty
We'll
on
be
in
with
the
you
last couple of
next
weeks. That little.
Friday. We're starting strength.
Oh, hey Mel, Melanie, I can see your comment. Yeah, you just popped in.
Oh, you saw a comment, did you?
Yeah, I have YouTube up in a separate window. How's it
Oh,
going,
cool.
Melanie? Let's check out this press. We're all talking about Rip for the first part. Let's see how the press goes. You need a little bit more pop coming out of the bottom. So whenever you're thinking about pulling the bar down, it has to be paired with a harder or a faster pop back up. If you just pull it down and then attempt to go at the same pace, it's going to be too slow of a crawl. So it needs to be a super fast transition. That little pull down, if you're not generating a fast pop out of it, just start the rep. Don't even worry about the pull down. Um, like with kind of a stricter press like this, you really just need to focus on bar speed out of the bottom over everything. So I would probably do a few test workouts to see if you can actually make it faster. If you just start it without that little pull, and if you do the pull it down more dramatically and get that turnaround going a little bit faster.
Yep.
hmm
I love her headband as well. That's like it's so.
It's getting cold, man. I have a lot of clients in cold places who are starting to wear like vests and gloves and hats and things going on.
Yep.
Yeah. Yesterday for me, it was like 75 degrees, so that was pretty cool.
Wait, 75. That's warm, isn't it?
It
Is that
is
what?
warm. Oh yeah, Fahrenheit. Yeah. Who knows what
Yeah.
that is in Celsius?
Yeah. I can't convert all that stuff. If they
Mm-mm.
in minus 32 and divided by three, and then
It's not going to work. Yeah.
you get pi or something. Is that how this works? All right, good pressing, Melanie. Let's. I think Mel's got a. We've got a deadlift video from Mel as well. We've got a couple of deadlift
Okay.
videos from Mel.
We're just catching up on the regulars today.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, she's edited this video very right to the frame.
It's a tight setup.
Yeah.
Grandma gave me the headband. Nice grandma. I'm wondering how recent this video is, Mel. Oh, is this a
It's very
lighter
recent.
volume though?
Yeah, it's fairly
Okay.
recent. I think she yeah. Why is that?
I'm just wondering because we've been seeing like the weights fluctuate a lot with the deadlift especially. I remember the squat went through a reset or two. To make sure you're not trying to chase the perfect form dragon forever. Make sure you're actually okay. This is today. Okay. Is this a lighter volume day for you, Melanie? Because this is a pretty casual set.
Yeah,
Okay,
and I
drop the
thought, well,
weight.
hell, I've got them. I'm
Yeah.
going to use them, so I would
Make sure you're
leg
not
extensions
chasing
and
that
like.
perfect form dragon, because it's just like a lot of people will be like, it has to be A plus or I can't go up. You're looking for B plus. If you're not super athletic, you're looking for like a B minus / B, you know. Like the mechanics will make it more efficient the better your form gets. But you gotta be pushing it. So get some more sets in over the week, get some more reps in over the week.
Yep.
Isaac Medina, Alex, your voice is soothing. It needs to be a scented candle, no homo. Full homo, man. 100%
That is
confirmed
100%
homo.
homo.
100% confirmed homo.
But not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. No.
Nothing wrong with that. I think
Uh,
we've got another video from Mel, another deadlift. I think it's another angle, so we can get a bit of a better look at it.
Triple hearts back to you, Isaac. I'll see you on the bodybuilding stage in 2023. I'll meet you there, buddy. Okay, we got another video angle. I think this is the same weight, if I had to bet.
I think there's a bit more on this one.
Oh, is this more on this one?
Yeah, I think the other one looked like it was about 145. This one looks like it's about 170.
Okay, so we got a heavy set now.
Yeah.
Form is stopping me for sure. Yeah, Melanie. I mean, like, so there's kind of like an interesting inflection point on the how much form to chase versus like how much work to do ratio. So like essentially, like if you're not doing very much work for the week, you're not going to have a lot of opportunities to get that form done. So like, let's say if you're still like chugging along at the LP, for example, and something like that, or if you're on like a lower volume program and you're a bit of a form perfectionist, that means like, okay, I only have 3 working sets for the week to get my A plus in, and that can be pretty anxiety producing. So just having more opportunities to get better at the thing is probably going to be helpful. These are totally fine deadlifts. And by fine, that's like the starting strength way of saying good.
They're not bad. They're not.
Exactly.
What does Rusty
These
say?
aren't bad.
Rusty says,
I don't
hate these.
Yeah, and I picked that up too. I was saying that for a while. I picked that up from some strength training coaches, just because you kind of just absorb people's language, no matter who you are.
Why can't you just say, I like these? These are good. Why can't you just
That's
say
what
that?
I say now. Yeah, I say these are good.
mean,
I think I think what it is that if we say these are good, even if they're really good, like if they're in the top quartile of reps, we're still going to see a lot of things that could be better about them. And as coaches, I guess we are just so probably a little bit anxious about other coaches being like, how could you call these good? Look at all these XYZ things going on,
I guess. Or is it just way
yeah.
too much positive reinforcement from Texas, and that's just not how they do things out there?
I think it's low column A, low column B. But I definitely think a lot of coaches are like afraid to compliment in the what if somebody else thinks that this is shitty, and then we kind of have to have that back and forth. So it's like, yeah, these are okay. That's what most people look at.
I mean, these look pretty solid. I mean,
yeah,
you can nitpick probably minor stuff, but she's definitely ticking most of the boxes there.
Yeah, I love these.
Yep. Hey, you love these. That's a Californian approach.
I love them. Yeah.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, I try to go in the hard opposite.
Yeah. What you got playing in the background there? I didn't get the audio on.
Typical floor of a commercial gym. All of that shit is not necessary because those are the movement patterns you can't make go up for 6 or 8 months every workout. You cannot increase your barbell curl every time you come in the gym for 6 to 8 months.
You cannot.
But you can
He's
increase
right
your
about
deadlift. So what you're going to do is worry about your deadlift and leave barbell curls till later. Right?
Is he right?
You can't go up on the pec deck machine.
Pec deck. I'm pretty sure the pec deck was the first thing I ever used at the gym.
Oh, I love the pec deck. I have a pec deck at my place now. It's the funnest, most fun machine.
In your house,
We
right
got
now?
Yeah, just the living room. We got a question from Isaac. I don't think I'm ready for back off sets yet, but I did fail my first work set of 365. I had a triple and failed a rep 4. On my subsequent sets, I nailed sets of 5. What should I do? Isaac, you got to figure out why you failed. So, like, if you misgroove the rep, like, you can be way more than strong enough for a set, but misgroove it and then completely blow it. So if you think it was a technical thing, I would just redo 365. If you have been doing like a light day in the middle, continue doing the light day and then redo that 365 the following workout. But for most people towards the end of the LP, the amount of warm up they're doing is not enough. So like, let's say if they're just following the standard warm-up prescription, they end up doing like, most people don't even do a set with the empty bar. A lot of people just start with 135, which is a mistake. But most people will end up doing 3, maybe 4 working sets. And bear in mind, at the end of the LP, the relative intensity that you're working at is super high. It's super high for most people. Right? That requires a decent bit of warm-up, especially with the squat. Like the deadlift, you can get away with not much warm-up because you're already warm from all the stuff. You're already warm from the squatting, and then honestly, for like the pressing movements, your shoulders are already warm from carrying a few hundred pounds on your back. But with the squat, taking out a few more sets at 185, 225, hit a set of 6, do some pauses, something like that. Generally, like a first set failure, and then hitting the rest of your sets cleanly, it either means you technically goofed, you dropped the ball, or you're not warm enough. So one of those two. And I guess the third option is you're not in the correct mindset, not in the right headspace. So see if that's the case too.
So what do you recommend? So what was his squat at? Was it 365?
365 kilos, so 9,000 pounds. So he's at 365 at 200 pounds body weight, eating around 3,500 calories a day.
So he said he failed his first set of squats at 365.
Yeah. Yep. Failed his first set, and then hit the subsequent 2 sets.
Okay. Yeah.
So Isaac, if you're noticing it goes like 5, 4, 4 or 5, 5, 3, then like, okay, this is just getting too damn heavy. And then it's likely time to, answer the first 3 questions. Really good article. If you've already checked those boxes, then move on to different programming normally. So
it's sleep, rest, and steroids, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. SRS.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's take another video. Paul 75. Who's been also been a regular for us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got Jay Russo in the comments popping in now.
Jay Russo, yeah. You see, I think he's the one who's pretty political.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that Jay Russo? Was that Jay Russo? I think it was Jay Russo.
What do you think, Mick? What are your prescriptions for this?
The first thing I noticed is he's probably looking right down a bit too much. But it's kind of hard to see from this. It's squinting a lot to see what's going on here, but let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, these aren't terrible.
They're not terrible.
They're not terrible. I would say just keep your gaze in the same spot. It seems like he's going from looking at the wall to looking straight down at the floor as he's going. But yeah, probably just keep that gaze.
Yeah, that's a really good interpretation. So like a lot of people, when they're thinking about leaning over, they're using their visual frame of reference, which is their head. Like in reality, you want to fight to keep your head in the same position back and up, because your traps and all that stuff that's connecting to your upper back is also attached to your head and your neck. So you don't really want that moving very much. Like if you can move your head very easily on a heavy squat, your upper back is not as tight as you think it is, So you really want to be thinking about pulling your head back as far as you can, not looking up, but just moving it backwards.
Do you think he's holding his knees back a bit as well?
I think the stance is too narrow, and he's focusing on sitting his hips back a little bit too much. Yeah. I'd probably widen the stance up by about like another 2.5, 3 inches. And then get the knees forward. I think a lot of people, in Starting Strength said this about the knees out. Like they cued knees out so much in the common parlance that when people showed up at the seminar, they would be shoving their knees out too much. I think something like that happens with sitting back as well. People like really sit back and then everything will swing forward at the bottom.
Yep. So widen the stance.
Knees forward faster. Don't move your damn head.
Yep. I think everything else is pretty good though.
It's great. Yeah. Jay Russo, have we seen videos from the Noble Russo?
I don't think
the Noble Jay?
I think he just basically shit posts in the comments and
Okay,
stays anonymous.
gotcha. You got to
Set,
send in some
I
videos. You
know.
can wear a mask, so that's
Yeah,
fine. So we don't have to see your face.
yeah. All right, good work, Paul. 75. Our old buddy Edwin from Taiwan in the Captain America gym.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, lifting some serious weights here. I mean, they are 20s, aren't they? Are they 20s?
I don't
Might be
know. There's
20
some
kilos.
45s in there. There's some
Yeah,
20s in there.
that camera shake is not from a bunch of 10s. So what's he got there? He's got 5. So he's got about 230, 240 kilos on the bar.
Jay Russo, ha 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 ha. Not political guys, just enjoying the show. And so we got to start the after hours,
Yeah.
the alt right barbell club
Yeah.
hour show pretty soon.
It's such a good name for a business.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think he's pulling onto his heels on this one, and you'll find that people pull onto their heels whenever they lead with their head. So if you kind of crank the head up and back again, which is different than what I was talking about the squat, but if people kind of lead with their forehead, lead with their hairline on the deadlift, you'll find that they oftentimes get on their heels. Rip has a really good article on like deadlift mechanics. I want to say it's called "The Obvious Can Be Obscure." Um, but I think one of the best gems in there was like your head weighs 5 to 7% of your mass, and it's like unless you've done some stuff in a cadaver lab in college, you're not really going to know that. A lot of people don't really think about it being involved in the lifts, but it hugely is in terms of balance. So when we're trying to get the armpits right over the bar, lats at 90 degrees, best line of pull, all that stuff that we talk about in the blue book, if the head position cranks up, everything changes. Everything changes. You
Yeah.
definitely get heel heavy.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like you get a lot of people talking about head position on the deadlift. So I mean, what's your recommendation generally? Is it to just look sort of down or slightly in front of you, or head up, or
So slightly up. Some people can, get their head into a pretty, cocked back position, but still drive with the legs off the ground. Um, Other people, they will crank their head up and then rock back onto their heels. So if you're still satisfying the balance or center of pressure over midfoot condition, it doesn't really matter. But for most people to satisfy center of pressure over midfoot, that's going to be the nose pointed pretty far down, like the nose pointed about where your eyes are looking into the squat, and then your eyes looking up farther than that. So like if let's say if my hand was the head here, like in my forearm is the back, it should be basically about there at most. But some people will go all the way back.
yeah, I think that's probably a result of trying to get the chest up.
Yeah.
That chest up cue, which I think seems like starting strength's trying to get not rid of it, but they're trying to change it to the squeezing the stomach down to the floor, which seems to work a lot better for that lower back.
That's definitely an interesting one. It's a pretty insightful point too, and that like the upper back position isn't necessarily as critical in the deadlift, where it's like the lower back position causes a lot of consistency errors. So like if your lower back is in a different position every single time that you pull, whether it be a power clean or a deadlift or a snatch, whatever, you're generally going to get different results. The errors aren't going to be as consistent. One of the weightlifting coaches, one of the more noticeable ones, like I don't remember if it was Shaiko or someone else, he said like his mark between a novice and an intermediate weightlifter is you make different errors versus you make the same error every time. Right? So it's just like if you're a novice, you're going to fuck something up that's different every single time. If you're an intermediate, it's going to start being the same thing. And then having the same lower back every time makes it infinitely more consistent, where it's like a different upper back on the deadlift. It's not super crucial.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Thanks, Edwin. Interestingly, no mask usage in Taiwan. You would have thought those Asian countries, they would have been pretty forceful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think-
Hopefully he rents out that gym for himself.
Now, I heard Taiwan's one of those cases like Sweden where they just kind of didn't really do anything. They just... Anyway, you want to get into the whole coronavirus debate? Nah, not touching that.
No,
All right.
it is not my business to get into. I'm in a completely different sector.
Disco Leo Sard.
Was this our
It's our
friend from
Brazilian
Brazil?
friend. Yeah, with his giant beard. It is a beard. And that's
That
confirmed
is a
from this
beard. We
video.
can confirm it.
He is pressing off his beard. you think he's getting
That's
much
pretty cool, man.
rebound stretch off that beard?
Yeah,
And
so
bounce?
I think this is one of the first people who you'd be like, you just can't power clean. This is a counterindication to power cleaning. Um, I wonder, Alan Thrall cleans. I guess he just puts it on his beard too. I mean, I guess you can power clean with a giant beard. You just have to keep your chin tucked so it goes on the hair and doesn't rip it out of your face. Um,
He tied to your
this
nipple rings.
Exactly. Yeah. So this bounce is actually pretty fast, pretty snappy, pretty fluid. But we'll still notice that he's kicking it around his face. So if people are still kicking it around their face, but are producing a good bounce in the meantime, so if both of those conditions are happening, you need to focus on the distance of the hip throw. Because remember, as the hips go more forward, the shoulders go more back. So that's the kind of the ratio that you need to look for. In the situation where they're getting a really snappy bounce out of it, but it's still kicking forward, you can kind of solve the kick forward if it's a grip position, but if it's not a grip position, then you just kind of need to change the system around it. You're looking for the easiest thing to change. The easiest thing to change is going to be how far the hips are moving. So get those hips forward more. Think about sending them past your toes, like your belt buckle, your drawstrings on your pants, anything like that. Get those out past your toes and then press a little bit earlier, and then you'll notice the bar is hitting that rail straight line.
What do you think about his elbow position?
I think it's totally fine. I think for most people, very slightly in front of the bar is okay. It doesn't need to be super dramatic. If you have like a pretty decent bit of arm mass, it's very helpful to have it be more up. So it's just like if you have like for your frame, if you have big forearms and big biceps, if you keep it up, you're going to get like a nice actual rebound off of the meat of your arm. So like the JM press, for example, JM Blakely, famous powerlifting coach and powerlifter. He has a variation of the bench press called the JM press, where your turnaround point is based off of when your forearm is running into your bicep. So if you have like big arms, if you think you have big arms, it's actually quite helpful to get rebound off of that tissue. But for very thin people, they're not going to get anything out of that at all. And this guy's super skinny, so it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Cool. All right, Leo Sard, thanks for that. We got a squat tips. This one was brought to my attention from our friend L.
Oh God.
Thank you to
Sit way back.
Yeah.
Core tight to protect your back. If you can do more than 8, add more weight.
Yeah. Christina.j.o.y. This girl's probably got 1,000 times more subscribers than we do.
Well, Palm Tree and 51 others liked it. Hopefully Palm Tree is L. Hopefully L is liking all these butt pages. And then
I'm kind of curious how L actually came across this. So
yeah. I mean, I'll see. Actually, a lot of people will end up kind of doing sumo squats like this. If you're doing a squat like this, just do a sumo deadlift. This is retarded. It's so silly because like if you think about it just from the mechanics of the glute or just from an anatomy, even if you want to take it from like the EMG perspective, if you completely take starting strength mechanics out of it, you're looking at like the deepest high bar squat you can get, the deepest front squat you can get, and the heaviest low bar squat you can get. If you're doing like very submaximal weird partial range of motion squats like this, it's not really going to be too great.
Look, I already struggle to basically not shart while I'm squatting. I think if I
This
took
is
this stance,
open.
like this is,
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this is probably a good way if you're constipated to, sort out a few of those issues. But
Sort out the kinks.
yeah, I sort of
Mhm.
Anyway, thanks Christina Joy for that
Christine
useful
Joy.
useful
And thank
video.
you, L, for the content.
Yeah,
Keep sending that stuff in.
thanks for L for the shit posting.
Mhm.
I think that's pretty much all I've got for today. Is there any other questions in the comments?
No, I think that's it.
All right.
Nice little short 30 minutes. Apparently, all of our technology worked, which is a positive.
Yeah, I can't see the comments though. This is the problem now. Like I don't get the comments anymore. So I guess we'll have to have a look at that, how to sort that out. But yeah, anyway, we'll be back tomorrow for the regular weekly Q&A with Chase, Alex, and hopefully Rusty. Hopefully Rusty can make it tomorrow, and maybe
Hopefully,
Phoebe
right.
as well. So
Yeah.
we'll see how we go. Where can people find you online, Alex, if they want to?
We'll throw a website link into the description. I do a lot of online coaching with a lot of people. If you're trying to get stronger, you want to argue about programming, let me know. Email me, send me that line.
What's your website? Echo Strength.
So my last name is Koesarie, so it's my initials, but no one knows how to say it. Anytime I tell someone it or I hand them my card and they'll read it, it's a different interpretation every time. So I have completely given up on saying it.
You can change your name to Smith.
Yeah. We're working on it. We're working
Yeah.
on streamlining the pronunciation of these things. But
All right. Well, anyway, check us out. We'll leave some links in the description. But thanks for everyone for watching today and leaving comments. And we will see you all tomorrow.
all right.